bets in for the primetime games. We have a lot of picks coming in from hoops tonight. Good card, NBA and college basketball. Let's take a look at the group for tonight. We got Shane Mickle to join us. Rod Zawacki returns. Alex Smart there in the center square. Chris Ruffalo will serve as the co-host, as Al Ninos will be with us. Damon Sosh will sign in like he always does, bottom of the hour. All right, let's go ahead and welcome in Chris. Chris, the co-host. Chris, man, you're on a heater, man. You're doing great in college hoops.
Yeah, man, don't jinx me. I still got a long ways to go. I had told you before the show, man. Rough start to today. Akron made their way into my bad books, but you know what? We still got a full night ahead of us. I'm ready to get towards it.
All right, let's get to work here. Let's go ahead and welcome Alex Smart to the show. Alex, how are things going?
Good. How's everything with you guys?
Doing well. NBA a little bit, as always, you know. You got to watch your steps. You got to keep an eye on these injury reports. Look for the COVID. Now, there's a lot of things to think about. It could be a minefield if you're not following this every day. Fortunately, we do follow it every day. And you'll be looking at this game between Utah and Cleveland, 7:30 Eastern Time. NBA League Pass Channel will televise, with Utah laying 12.5. Total sits at 208.
Yeah, we're laying big lumber here for a reason. Lumber with the line anyway. And Cleveland's going to be without their three best players, Sexton, Garland, and big man Kevin Lowe. He's out, and this is a back-to-back for them. They're not going to be fresh. They're going to be shorthanded, and Utah is still hungry and starting to uptrend. In my power rankings, I look for them to really come out here and take no prisoners and get us a cover with a big line on the spread.
Yeah, big line on the spread. Cleveland having a hard time even getting to 100 points. I think Drummond is even questionable now on the list. So Drummond's someone you can add to there. It's a really depleted Cavaliers squad here. Of course, Utah looking for a win here on the road that started terribly. That's a terrible spots, but they've bounced back well. That win against Milwaukee. Chris, what say you in this one?
Well, Tony, we had that under yesterday, and I think this is just going to be another contributing factor for the Cavs. You guys said their roster's decimated by injury on a back-to-back. Utah, not normally a team I want to lay 12.5 with, but I think this is a spot where you have to. I'm also looking at the under as well. I think this is another game where Cleveland might struggle to get to 80. I think this is under all the way as well as Utah laying the points.
Yeah, Cleveland really depleted there for scoring. A lot of players out of this one. All right, Alex, all agreement here with your play here on the Utah Jazz. Why don't you let everybody know what you got going on over at Pig Dawgz Premium?
We've got some college basketball. We've got some NBA. We've got NHL on board for tomorrow. And it's not up yet, but I'm working on it. And the weekend, of course, we're going to have some NFL action. And congratulations to everybody who backed Alabama to smash the hell out of Ohio yesterday, because that was a bad one, Ohio State. Anyway, that was gone. It's gone for another year.
Yep, it's gone for another year. Hopefully we won't have to worry about this COVID nonsense for the next college football season, but things should be a little more smoother as we get into the next college football season. Keep an eye on all the moves and the transfers and all that. There'll be a lot of movement here in college football. We'll keep an eye on it. But we got a new season, the NHL starting, and Alex, I know you're ready for it.
Yeah, ready for the NHL. It's going to be interesting. There's a Canadian division this year, and teams are going to be staying close to home for most of the season, playing within their divisions. It's going to be pretty interesting, and it's a unique handicapping situation for us to get used to. But hockey's hockey, and teams are teams, and it's the same old game.
All right, guys, check out Alex Smart over at Pig Dawgz Premium. Pick up one of those long-term passes from Alex right now. A matter of fact, as we're getting into the NHL, it's a good time to pick up that 7 or 30-day pass. You get all of Alex's plays from the game, the sports he handicaps. That's NBA, college hoops, and of course the NHL getting started. NFL playoffs. We got divisional round weekend next week, so a good time to pick up Alex Smart over at Pig Dawgz Premium. All right, Alex, as always, great having you on the show. Have yourself a great night. We'll talk with you in a couple days.
Take care, guys. Have a good weekend.
All right, everybody. Alex, good week. Well, good week will lead to a great weekend, right? That's usually how it goes. All right, Alex Smart here on the drive-through. All right, we'll continue our coverage here. We're going to look at an NBA game, and I kind of agree with El on this one. Let's go ahead and bring El Ninos in. El, how you doing?
Doing good. How are you?
I'm doing great. Keeping my eyes glued to this NBA morning and night, because there's a lot of movement going on here with lines and with player availability and ways you can exploit these numbers. I know people will always say, "Oh, it's COVID." No, man, take advantage of the COVID news. It's under, baby. When you see these coaches, they look around, they see two guys on their bench and say, "No, we're not going to play fast tonight, guys. Sorry." All right, now, you're going to be looking at this game between the Spurs and Thunder. San Antonio on the road laying 2.5. Total sits here at 218.5. But you're going to be looking a different way on this one.
Yeah, as you mentioned, it's a great time. I mean, it can be a headache sometimes, but it's worth it for us to follow all those news injuries and stuff. You could get some great lines if you hop on them fast. And as much as the books adjust, I mean, with the injury lists we've seen, it's hard for them to adjust their lines enough to make up for those missing players. But anyways, moving on to this one, which has a pretty big missing player here in DeMar DeRozan for the Spurs. I mean, he's definitely their best player by far, and obviously that's a huge blow to them. So I'm going to look at the other side here, and OKC is a pretty, not the best team in the league, obviously, but they come out to play pretty much every night. And I think that knowing that DeRozan isn't there, I think they'll know it's a good shot for them to pick up a win at home. So the Spurs have been pretty good so far, 5-5. They are pretty good against the spread too, but just 0-2 as road favorites against the spread. So again, without DeRozan, they're 2.5 point favorites here. I don't think we're going to need the points with the Thunder, so I think our better value is taking a little plus money here on the money line.
All right, Nino's here on the money line here with OKC Thunder plus 120. The Spurs' problem, like it was last year, defending on the road has been atrocious. Chris, what do you say?
Yeah, I agree on this one as well, mainly because I see the line at 2 last I checked. And, if you're taking San Antonio -2 without DeMar DeRozan, that's an iffy proposition. OKC, you're either banking on a push, a 1-point win when there's, I doubt it. You might as well take the money line, go plus 120, try to get yourself a little bit of extra payout on that one. So I like OKC on the money line as well.
Agreement there with OKC, the money line here against the San Antonio Spurs. All right, Al, a big card tonight from College Hoops. We got a good card here, the betting card here from the NBA. What you got going on over at Pig Dawgz Premium?
As I mentioned last time, it's 9-1 last night, up to 11-1 now in my college basketball run. Just one college basketball play tonight, but I do like it a lot. I do have 4 NBA plays, but I also have a 3-pack available with my 2 favorite NBA plays and my college basketball play if you want to check that one out.
All right, check out Nino's over
and
at
also, yeah, looking forward to the NHL season. Got my first play of the year ready to go right after the show. So, yeah, looking forward to that too.
All right, guys, check out El Nino's over at Pig Dawgz Premium. He's got a nice package for you tonight, 3-pack there. He's got some NBAs bundled in there. Get those winnings and then apply it to a long-term pass. You got a 7-day or 30-day pass. Remember, those NHL starts tomorrow. We've got college hoops. We've got the NFL playoffs on the weekend. So a good time to pick up El Nino's. Get one of those long-term passes over at Pig Dawgz Premium. All right, Al, as always, great having you on the show. We'll talk to you a little later when we recap the picks at the end of the show.
All right, we will see you then.
All right, El Nino's will be studying the card here to see which pick he likes the best, other than his pick, Chris, because we always recap the plays at the end of the show if you happen to join late.
Absolutely. I think it's one of the perks of this show. I mean, obviously, we want everyone from the beginning, but you know what? We understand people can't always make it here right at 6 o'clock, and, we want you to obviously watch it, but if you can't, you need to get your bets in. That's why we have them at the end of the show. Want everybody to be able to benefit from the great knowledge these handicappers are bringing to the show.
Absolutely, guys. And don't forget to subscribe to our channel. Free picks every day. Of course, we got the drive-through Monday through Friday at 6 p.m. Eastern Time, but it all gets started with the morning show, 10 a.m. Eastern Time. Mitch, Rod, Chris, of course, Butler is on that show. Weekends with Ron Romanelli, 10 a.m. Eastern Time with the morning show. Of course, the computer pick show in between. Of course, halftime shows as well from Mitch. Of course, you want to make sure you subscribe because Mitch has been pretty good with those halftime picks. So check him out there, especially for these NFL games coming up Saturday and Sunday. Of course, if you would support our channel, like this video, give us that thumbs up, Chris. We always talk about it. It helps us out a lot.
Absolutely helps us out a ton. Doesn't cost anybody a cent. It's as good as gold to us, especially when we're trying to get our product and our content out to new faces who maybe haven't seen it before. But like we always say, we always appreciate the support. We love the Pick Dawgz family. And you know what? This is some of my favorite times on the drive-through on the morning show. I love everybody that tunes into this. You guys are the reason that we keep this going. We just always ask for a thumbs up, but you know what? We're gonna help you guys out no matter what. So, thumbs up if you could. It helps us out a ton.
That's right, guys. 200 watching. Let's get those 200 likes up. Let's get that likes. I know you'll help us out a lot here on the show. All right, we'll continue on here on the drive-through. Time to bring in Rod Zawacki. He's someone you listen to in the morning here at 10 a.m. Eastern Time. Rod, how you doing?
Doing good, Tony. Evening, everybody.
Good evening. You got Rod here on the drive-thru. Okay, Rod, you're looking at look at college hoops here. It's 9 Eastern time. ACC Network, possibly. That one might be moved to ESPN2 because that ESPN2 game was postponed. So keep an eye on the coverage there for television on this game. Syracuse, North Carolina. With North Carolina laying about 4.5 to 5, total 146. But you're going to be looking a different way.
Yeah, I'm gonna take the dog here. I'm looking at Syracuse on the year. They're 7-2. They're 4-5 ATS. North Carolina 7-4 on the year. Only 3-7 ATS on the year. You look at the North Carolina offense. They're averaging about 72 points a game, ranking them at about 182 in the country. You look at Syracuse defense. They're holding teams to about 67 points. Which is what they should be, because I look at the strength of schedule as well, and Syracuse strength of schedule was just a little bit less than what North Carolina's is. You look at the North Carolina D, and they're doing about the same thing, holding teams to about 67 points a game. But what the thing that stood out to me was Syracuse offense is still against those teams that were lower. They're still averaging 80 points, which is what you should expect against their lower ranked teams. That you've been playing, you definitely should be scoring more points. Coming into this series, you look, Syracuse is 6-2 ATS as a road dog their last 8 games, which we like. And also the underdog in head-to-head in this series is 4-1 ATS. Last time these two teams played, Syracuse did upset North Carolina. So I'm going to take a shot again. Give me Syracuse, Carolina Tar Heels at home.
All right. Rod's going to go Syracuse, the money line, plus 165 against North Carolina, 9 p.m. Eastern time, ACC Network. All right, Chris, what say you in this ACC battle?
Well, Tony, I mean, you and I have always talked when we talked about North Carolina. North Carolina has a hard time shooting, and with this zone defense. Oh, man, this North Carolina does not shoot well from outside. They're 14th in the ACC. Dead last at 2-point field goal percentage. One of the worst shooting teams in the country. If you can't shoot against Syracuse, you're not going to have a good shot against that zone defense. I love Syracuse on the money line here.
All right, agreement here with Syracuse money line, plus 165 against North Carolina. All right, Rod, nice hoops card tonight. What you got going on over at Pig Dawgz Premium on the eve of the start of the NHL season?
Yeah, on the eve of the start of the NHL season, you can grab my NHL season package right now for $400. Can't go wrong. That's probably the best deal you're going to get for hockey all year. But for tonight, I've got my Tuesday 2+1. I've got 2 NBA plays and 1 solid 10-star college basketball play over at Pig Dawgz Premium for $25. Can't go wrong with that either. Jump on something long term, and we're going to have a huge hockey season. I can feel it.
All right, Rod's getting ready for that huge hockey season. He's got some one-day passes tonight over at Pig Dawgz Premium. Pick those up and then make the upgrade to his season pass from the NHL, or you can pick up one of those long-term passes available there at Pig Dawgz from Rod Zawacki. You'll find him there at Pig Dawgz Premium. All right, Rod, as always, great to have you on the show. You'll be back with us tomorrow, but you started off early morning, 10 a.m. Eastern time with Mitch and company.
Yeah, you bet. You guys have yourself a good evening. See you in the morning, Chris.
All right.
See you in the morning.
See you in the morning. I love this shirt. My people skills are just fine.
We won't. I don't know if we'll get to talk about hockey too much from the vibe I was getting this morning, but we'll do our best. Boy.
All right, we'll do our best. You guys bring in picks. We got no other choice, right? You guys bring in picks from NHL. There's no other choice, right? You guys set the table here. You know. All right, we'll continue on here on the drive-through, and we're going to be looking at an NBA game. This is your TV game, 8 Eastern time, NBA TV. Lakers at the Houston Rockets. Boy, this was a puzzle. I was looking at this game, of course, a game impacted by possible injuries. You look at the injury report. You've got, of course, LeBron on there, possibly Davis, migraine for Wall. We'll see if he plays. So a lot of question marks. But let's go ahead and bring in Shane Mickle. We found him. Here you go. How you doing, Shane?
Good. How are you guys doing tonight?
Oh, we're doing great. That new look looks pretty good on you, man.
Yeah, it's a little cold up here in Minnesota after getting my hair and beard cut. Let me tell you.
I bet it must be even colder over there. You got to increase that heating bill.
Yeah.
All right, you're going to be looking at this one here, Shane, between the Lakers and the Rockets. Lakers are laying about 4.5 to 5. Do your line shopping. It's back and forth here. Total 223.5. The injury list is long on both sides. Wall's got a migraine. You're dealing with Davis and LeBron on the injury report. That's going to be day to day and all that. Sort this out for us, Shane.
Yeah, it's an interesting game. One of the interesting things with the COVID NBA season this year is they're playing back-to-back games against each other, not on back-to-back nights, which isn't that odd, but both games are happening in Houston, which is kind of an odd wrinkle. But anyways, I really like the Lakers here. There's a lot of question marks, but it's hard to imagine LeBron and Anthony Davis aren't playing, or at least not one of them. John Wall's, I haven't seen anything, but I've got to assume he's going. But even if he goes, there has to be some questions. What happens if it starts acting up? Can he play a full game? But more importantly, these teams just played. Lakers had no issues getting the job done. And then the Rockets have lost 3 of their last 4 games, all at home. All 3 losses have been at home. They're having issues scoring. They're facing the Lakers defense that held them to only 102 points in the last game. I think the Lakers defense locks down again here and have no issues covering this number.
All right, Shane Mickle here on the Lakers, laying the 4.5 against the Houston Rockets. All right, Chris, what say you on this? Can the Lakers pull the sweep off there in Houston?
When you talk about a migraine, I think I had a migraine starting just from trying to sort through this injury report. And, look at this game, and like Shane said, it's hard to imagine Anthony Davis or LeBron James both sitting out, or even one of them sitting out. This is kind of what we dealt with the last time they played. After seeing what happened in the first game, until I see Houston wake up, I've got to go with the Lakers as well. It's, I don't like the Lakers as a public team, but in this spot, I think I have to lay the points as well.
All right, agreement here, laying the Lakers here against the Houston Rockets. This one, 8 Eastern time, NBA TV will televise it. All right, Shane, good night to Hoops tonight. What you got going on over at Pig Dawgz Premium?
Yeah, just one more thought about that Lakers game. Even if LeBron or Davis, as long as one of them's playing, I don't see that line jumping. But if Wall does end up sitting out, I could see that line jumping. So I'd get on it now and take your chances, even if Wall's playing. For tonight, I got a 5-pack. 2 NBA, 3 college basketball. I got off to a terrible start with my NBA this year after doing so well last year. But I've turned it around, back on the leaderboards, 13-5 over the last 7 days. So I'm gonna make a run up there. That leaderboard's pretty high up already, but I'm gonna make a run, try to get back up to the top of that leaderboard.
All right, guys, check out Shane Mickle over at Pig Dawgz Premium. Last year, he was up on dominated the NBA. He's back on track right now. You got the numbers. You can check it out, document over at Pig Dawgz Premium. Get on board with his pass tonight and then upgrade to one of those long-term passes. He got that 7-day, 30-day pass. Get all of his plays from Pig Dawgz Premium for that long-term pass. You get a 7 or a 30-day. Of course, we'll include of course, we're coming up to playoff weekend, divisional round, so a good time to get one of those passes. All right, Shane, is always great having you on the show. Continue that success in the hoops, and we'll talk to you on Thursday.
All right, have a good night, you guys.
All right, everybody, Shane Mickle here on the drive-through. All right, we'll continue our coverage. Guys, reminder to subscribe and give us that thumbs up, that like. We greatly appreciate that. You help build our audience here on the drive-through. All right, we'll continue our coverage now. And it's time for my co-host, Chris Ruffalo, who is just tearing it up in college hoops this year. And he's got a game for us here at 7 Eastern time. This one to be televised by Fox 1. It's Butler and St. John's, with St. John's laying 2. Total sits about 143.
Yeah, normally I think in recent years I probably would have looked at Butler and just been like, you know what, Butler, one of those, big betters darlings, the ones that we just love, the teams that don't necessarily get the biggest spotlight, like your Duke and North Carolinas of the world, but they're still a team that's helped us profit over the years. And but then you think about it, it's already been 10 years since Gordon Hayward took that shot from half court that almost went in and beat Duke in the national championship game. And, it's 10 years later, this is a far cry from what that team was. Butler, I think, is in a down year this year. A lot of things came down to the last few games was Aaron Thompson, the star player for Butler. What was he going to do? He's injured. How's his team going to score? Well, Thompson came back into the lineup last game, and they still struggled to score. Butler did. They only put up 63 points against Georgetown. They put up 60 against UConn. This Butler team is struggling to score, while St. John's is struggling to cover numbers, 1-6 against the spread in their last 7. They're at least scoring points, and if you give me two teams side by side, I'm going to try to normally take the team that's playing a little bit better offensively, even if St. John's is giving up 80 a game. I just don't think Butler has the chops to score 80, so I think lay in the bucket. We're not being asked to lay too much here. I like laying the 2 points with St. John's in this one.
All right, go ahead and take the St. John's here, -2 against the Butler Bulldogs. All right, Chris, boy, what a college basketball season you're having. We put the numbers up here, nearly 1,700 units of profit, document number 1. What you got going on over at Pig Dawgz Premium?
Tony, like you said, it's been a great start to college basketball season, but it is a marathon and not a sprint. As cliche as that sounds, it's the honest truth. We got about 3 months left to go in the season. But as far as tonight goes, I've got my Tuesday tip-off college trio. 3 games that I love for tonight's card. I also have my Big East college basketball game of the month on there for $25. The trio's going for $29.95. Those are some of my favorite plays tonight. They're going to put cash in your pocket. Also, guys, hop on one of those long-term packages. 3-day, 7-day, 30-day. We've already mentioned it. Hockey's starting tomorrow. We've still got NBA going. We've got college basketball. Or if you're strictly just wanting to get in on a specific sport and you want to dabble into the stuff on the other side, I've got my college basketball season pass. I reduced that by $50. It's down to $349. It's going to get you through the rest of January, February, March, where we have the conference tournaments, and into March Madness and every game up until the national championship game. We can continue this pace. Oh, man, there's going to be a lot of stuffed pockets come April. So don't miss out on those and hop on one of those long-term packages. PickDawgz.com, SportsChatPlace.com Premium.
Absolutely, guys. Check out Chris Ruffalo right now, Pig Dawgz Premium. You see the numbers, over 1,660 units of profit, documented number 1 college hoops. He's got his college basketball season pass reduced. Good time to pick that up, or if you want to try him out for 3 days and then make that upgrade, do that as well. So get on board right now with Chris Ruffalo over at Pig Dawgz Premium. All right, we'll continue our coverage here. And, of course, we'll be looking at another NBA game as we welcome Damian Sosh to the discussion, and he'll come in with a pick from that Nets and Nuggets game. Another interesting one, Nets and Nuggets. Damon, how you doing?
I'm doing good, guys.
All right, Damon, you're looking at this Denver and Brooklyn game. Brooklyn about a point to a point and a half now. There's some movement in this game, total 231. We know Kyrie's not playing, but there's Durant and company there against a Denver team that's not very good on defense. How do you see it?
Yeah, Nuggets coming in, winning 2 in a row. Jokic just putting up MVP-type numbers right now, averaging a triple-double currently on the season. Offensively, the Nuggets, they're about as good as they come. They've been awesome this season. But you nailed it, Tony. Defensively, they're just 24th in defensive efficiency. Now, the Nets, they're going to be without Kyrie Irving again. They're used to playing without Kyrie Irving, whether it be injury, if he's out partying, whatever this guy does. I'm more surprised when I see him in the lineup now than when I see him not in the lineup. You mentioned Durant being back. His first game back was Sunday. He looked really good. Now, they did lose to Oklahoma City, but Durant put in 36 points. The Nets, the last 2 games, they've given up 115 and 129 points. But they're a pretty decent defensive team. They're actually 5th in defensive efficiency. I think Jarrett Allen's going to make Jokic work for everything on the offensive end. When it comes down to it, Durant, his second game back, Nets have lost 2 in a row. I like them to break that losing streak, and I like the Nets to get the cover here at home.
All right, Damon's on Brooklyn Nets laying the point here against the Denver Nuggets. Do your line shopping on this one. All right, Chris, what do you see in this game?
Yeah, another game where I like to play. Brooklyn, like Damian said, they're used to playing without Kyrie Irving, and they were used to winning games without Kyrie Irving. And then when you add Kevin Durant into the fold in that mix, Denver struggling defensively. I like Brooklyn as well, laying the point. I think this is a 5-6 point win for the Nets.
All right, agreement here with the Brooklyn Nets laying the point against the Denver Nuggets. All right, Damon, let us know what you got going on over at Pig Dawgz Premium. Good night of hoops.
Yeah, guys, I still have my NBA Play of the Day available. That's going to go off 10:30 this evening. And my 3-pack of college basketball is still on the board. Get 3 winners there, NBA winners, so 4 plays available for you. Obviously, as we mentioned earlier here in the show, hockey starting up tomorrow. So I'm definitely looking forward to putting in some hockey plays. And just looking forward to a great week, filling everybody's pockets with some money.
All right, you see the numbers here. Damon Sosh, 466 units of profit documented 2021 over at Pig Dawgz Premium. You pick up a daily pass or maybe upgrade to the long-term pass. We've got hockey starting NBA, college hoops, of course, the NFL playoffs. Good time to pick up one of those long-term passes from Damian Sosh over at Pig Dawgz Premium. You see the results from 2021 all documented over on the site. All right, Damon, as always, great having you on the show. Continue that success, and we'll talk to you in a couple days.
Thank you, guys. Have a good night.
All right, everybody, Damian Sosh here on the drive-thru. All right, we'll continue on. It's time for yours truly to come in with my pick for the show, and we're going to be looking at the late-night game from the NBA. It is the Warriors and the Pacers. I'll go ahead and take this Golden State Warriors team at -3. It's really a tough spot for the Pacers. The back end of a back-to-back. Huge injuries here. TJ Warren, he averaged 15 points a game. He's out. One of the defensive stars for Indiana, TJ McConnell's out. I just saw that Oladipo is now questionable. So it's just cluster injuries here for the Indiana Pacers. That used to be the case for Golden State. They got Draymond back. They're playing a little better. We've seen them win 4 of 5. They're shooting the ball better, 46% in that span of 5 games, 41% from 3, and they're defending, holding teams to 42% in that span. Look at the past 5 games. The Pacer defense has not been good. We'll go ahead and lay the 3 with Golden State. What say you, Chris, in this one?
You know, Tony, I kind of agree with you. When Golden State can have a win over, you know, my Toronto Raptors, without when Stephen Curry's having a bad shooting night, this is a Golden State team that I think you have to watch out for. I like Golden State here against the Pacers on a back-to-back with all the injuries you just mentioned, all the guys missing tonight's game. I like the Warriors as well.
All right, agreement here with the Warriors, -3 against Indiana. Jump on that line now because of Oladipo, who now has been moved to questionable. If he's out, this line's going to jump. So if you like the Warriors, you better take it now because there's some questions here, will Oladipo play or not. So that's a big injury there. All right, guys, and check out Pig Dawgz Premium. I got my 3-pack, or you can actually get one of my long-term passes. I got a 7-day and 30-day pass over at Pig Dawgz Premium. So check me out there on the side. All right, let's continue on. And this is the time where we recap the picks for today's show. So let's take a look. All right, we start here with Alex Smart. He was on the Utah Jazz -12.5 against Cleveland Cavaliers. Al Nino's OKC the money line +120 odds against San Antonio. Rod Zawacki, Syracuse the money line +165 odds against North Carolina. Shane Mickle was on the LA Lakers -4.5 against Houston. Chris Ruffalo, St. John's -2 against Butler. Damian Sosh, Brooklyn Nets -1 against Denver Nuggets. Yours truly was on the Golden State Warriors -3 against Indiana. We'll start here with Chris. Other than your pick, which one do you like the best?
I've got to say I love Rod's Syracuse money line. I think that's one of the best plays on the board tonight.
All right, we'll go to Al. Al, other than your pick, which one do you like the best?
I like a lot of these, but when that's not a premium play, I'll agree with Rod. I'll go with Syracuse money line +165.
All right, maybe there was Syracuse on the money line. I personally go with Al's pick with OKC here against the San Antonio Spurs. That's the one I would agree with. All right, guys, don't forget we're back tomorrow, 6 p.m. Eastern time with a drive-through. A lot of hoops on the card for tomorrow. We'll have a bunch of cappers on again, giving out the plays before the start of the games. And, of course, it all gets started at 10 a.m. Eastern time with the morning show. Mitch, Rod, Chris, Brian Bittler on the show to get you started on your morning, in the morning with all the picks from today's action. All right, guys, let's go ahead and bring in the crew from tonight's show and to give guys, everyone out there a wave. And don't forget to look for Rod's birdcage right below me. Dukes, Nets, Syracuse +775. Let's take a look here. No shaking, not too much shaking there from Rod. He's pretty confident there. Looks very confident on those. Okay, he's very confident on those picks, guys. So check out that birdcage at the end of the show. And of course, we'll see you guys tomorrow at 6 p.m. Eastern time with another